There is an ugly side to being confident, and I don't think it's being talked about enough. Because, yeah, you're being confident and you finally have women attracted to you. You go on dates and it's going really well, and you have intimacy, and maybe your career is expanding. You're making more and more money because you're taking more risks. You're going for what you want. Your health is also getting better, right? You're going to the gym, you're feeling better in your own skin, etc., etc. But I discovered also that it gets pretty dark. And it was not fun. It was, I remember, 6 years ago. And I was starting to become successful with women, like genuinely successful. I was having dates on a weekly basis. And at the time I was a fuckboy, okay. But yeah, I was really able to go on dates, attract the woman I was having a date with, and then have intimacy and etc. etc. Yeah. And so when I realized that I could do this on a consistent basis, I was like, okay, let's talk about it on Facebook. And that's exactly when I started to become a coach, actually. So I started to write some posts, make some videos, and I was just sharing my truth, right? And some of my old friends were following me on Facebook. And I didn't know they were I knew they were following me, but I didn't know they were checking my posts, right? But I mean, I was a bit naive, I guess. And so one day, I got invited to a Messenger group chat, right? And in this Messenger group chat, there were all my old friends, right? I'm talking like 10 to 12 friends from university, like from college. And they started to insult me. They started to say that I don't respect women, that I am a misogynist, that I am a narcissist, that I should fucking go to jail for what I'm doing, that I should be ashamed for expressing myself in the streets with women, right? And a bunch of other stuff. And it went on for like 15 minutes. And I was looking at my telephone and I was like, whoa, total disbelief. Like, these were my really good friends at one point. Really close to them. We were going out on the weekends, getting drunk, right? We were taking drugs as well. Going to techno party, like rave and all that stuff, right? And now they are insulting me? Like, where did that come from? And only a few years separated us, right? Like I left college and then I moved to another city, but it was just a few years. So like we were still close to each other. And I just didn't know what was happening. But then, I decided to leave the chat. They re-invited me in the chat, insult me a little bit more. And I was like, okay, like let's leave again. And then they didn't invite me again, luckily. And looking back, I understood why this happened. These friends enjoyed the version of me that I was back then, which was basically a nice guy, right? So I had no boundaries. Like, they were walking all over me sometime, and I wasn't saying shit, like nothing, because I was too scared to express my truth, right? I was scared of the conflict it would create. So I was always the guy, being so nice, so fun, so easygoing, right? I was always positive, never negative, never, But also I was the guy who was really shy. So they never really saw me talking to a woman. Maybe 1 or 2 times, right? I was always in the friend zone, right? I was never really able to be bold, to be confident, to be dominant, right? I was this, funny guy, but just closed off, super closed off, right? So that's the version of me they knew. And when they saw what I have become, this guy who goes up to a woman in the street and tell her, hey, I think you're fucking sexy. For them, this is not Sasha. Sasha doesn't have the balls to do this. Sasha is supposed to get drunk on the weekend, hold himself back, and then go back home all alone. No, Sasha doesn't get laid. Sasha doesn't have any woman liking him. No. And so they were attached to the older version of me, and they wanted me to stay this way. But the thing is, this older version of me was dead already. Like, I would never come back to this. Not because I hated it. It's okay to be like this. Nothing wrong. But it was not me. It didn't felt like me. It never actually felt like me. That's the thing, right? And this they didn't want to see, right? And so conflict happened. And this is exactly the dark side of becoming who you really are, of becoming confident, of becoming masculine. Sometimes people will be pissed at you for being you. Sometimes you will lose some friendships. Expect that, brother. I lost 90% of my friendships in my life. And for a reason. I changed so much, Like 10 years ago, I was a very different person than I am now. 5 years ago, also. 2 years ago, also. A year ago, also. I am constantly evolving. I am constantly trying to reconnect with who I am really, right? Because it's a continuous work. I'm not saying that I'm a finished product. I'm not talking to you like I'm a guru that knows everything. I'm just sharing my experience here, right? I'm sharing my raw truth, and I'm not saying that I figured out it all, right? Maybe with women I know a few more things than the majority of guys, right? Maybe I know a few more things about overcoming the nice guy syndrome than the majority of guys. But I don't know all the truth, right? And I'm aware of this. Like, I'm not pretending to be someone who knows it all, right? And that's just the reality. You will lose some girls, right? Maybe you're in a relationship with a woman and it doesn't really reflect with who you really are. And you're staying because you're a nice guy, right? Because you're scared to express yourself with her, to have your boundaries, to tell her what you really feel, right? Because that's damn scary, right? Because I think one of the biggest fear of a nice guy is to get rejected. Rejection just, it's so scary. And I understand, like, I was scared of this my whole life. And maybe to some extent I still am a little bit. But I did so much work on this internally to become fully comfortable with that, right? To become okay with someone not liking me. And I think part of the reason why this is happening is because, yeah, I exposed myself a lot with women. I was meeting 10 to 20 women every day in the streets. Being a coach helped me a lot because you expose yourself as well. I mean, I'm posting every day on Facebook. I'm posting twice a week on YouTube. I receive hateful comments, right? And this is testing me, testing my self-worth, right? So it's not a beautiful journey as people portray it to be confident. It's beautiful, it's very meaningful, and at the same time, it's very bumpy. You will see, like, it's just like that, But the freedom you experience when you become confident, the authenticity of it, and the meaningfulness of it is far better than the conflicts that you will experience with it, the loss of friendships and women, and all the drama that will happen with it. Because it's inevitable, People will not like it sometime when you're yourself. People will want to reject you when you're being yourself. And you got to accept it. That's just the way it is. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in working with me, there's a link down below in the comment section. There's a few different offerings, so you can check it out. And if you just want to keep on watching my YouTube videos, brother, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I see you.